but just as a rough rust prevention measure, I like to put just a tiny bit. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Still use that one, so I'm going to put it aside. This part is now ready. What am I doing? Barrel first. Barrel. Let's see. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There we go. You see that kind of the circular scratches all the way around? That is your friction points on the barrel itself. Most important, right here is where it locks up with that bushing. So we're going to get a little bit on there. And then, actually, the rest of it I like to do the oil. So we're going to put it down for just a second. Now the oil, because it has the nano lubricant in it, it will separate. That's why you see the more almost yellowish liquid, and then the black ring around the bottom. That's the nano lubricant. So we just need to shake it up a little bit. There you go. You hear the steel clacker in there let go. Alright. Now I can take the lid off and add the needle tip. These needle tips are great. Now, back to the slide. I like to put just a little drop right there around the firing pin, so it'll work itself down in there around the firing pin. Back to the barrel here. I just want to put a little drop here and work it around. Just a little bit across the top there. Perfect. Now, back in it goes. Beautiful. I like to put just a dab on the link here. Beautiful. Okay. Ready for the bushing now. Alright, let me wipe my hands off. Next up is going to be our guide rod. Now this gets a lot of friction off of your spring every time it goes anywhere. So here's a spot again that we're going to use a little bit of a combination. Put a little bit on there. Get our hands dirty again. Now you're not working with guns unless you're getting your hands dirty. Alright, now here's our combination. For some reason, this gun likes to have both the oil and the grease working on it at the same time. Don't ask me why, it's just an individual thing. Now since we got guide rod lubed up, we really don't need a whole lot on here. I just like to have a little bit on the outside of the spring to ease its friction against the barrel. There we go. Now this spring, you can see the tight coils at this end, not at the other end. The tight coils go up against the base of your guide rod here. Alright. Now, we're going to put a little bit of oil in here. Just a tiny bit. Right around the end here. This is the point right around here that your guide rod is going to be moving in and out of every time you fire the weapon. So we're going to leave that right there where it is for a minute. I'm actually going to push it to the side here, give us some work room. Now, for everything inside the frame here, I'm going to put a little bit on the back of the hammer. That hammer strut needs to move as freely as it possibly can. So a little bit of oil there is always a good thing. There we go. I like to put a little bit right down the hammer. Let's see if we can get a better shot at that. Give it a drop or two right there, and we're going to work that in because that's going to go right down to the sear hammer engagement. And the less friction there, the better your trigger will feel. There we go, that's nice. Now, not a whole lot more that we need going on right there. I do, however, let's turn it this way, like to put just a little bit on the inside of the magazine well, and just rub that in with your finger. That's going to help the magazine. When you hit the release button over here, that's going to help the magazine fall a lot more freely. Okay, now we're just about ready to put this bad boy back together, but back to the combination for this gun. It likes a little more liberal dose of oil on the rails here, and it's actually going to work itself in to the grease. Sounds like the kids are having a fit. Get some on our disconnector there. This little part right here is called disconnector. It needs some oil on it. Every time you slide comes back a little bit, it's pushing that little guy down, so it needs as little friction as possible.